Coming to you direct from Silencer Shop Studios, home of the Glass Case of Emotion.
SilencerShop.com, the easiest way to buy silencers online, period.
Stand by for education, enlightenment, enjoyment, and entertainment.
He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, please welcome your host, the pimp hand of America, Professor Paul Markle.
All right. Welcome to Monday. Welcome to Memorial Day. It is Memorial Day, right, Jared? When this is, it should be. This should go up Memorial Day morning.
And
you're welcome. We didn't take the day off.
What is Memorial Day?
Yes,
please tell people what it is.
Memorial Day is the day. It's the national holiday that we take to commemorate and honor those who gave their lives in the service of this nation, primarily the United States military.
So this is not
Veterans Day. And yes, thank you, Jared. I was thinking about that earlier. I need to say this because here in America, we don't know what we're doing half the time.
Yeah.
It just dumbfounds me.
Dude, I could put up like today's National Peanut Butter Day on Facebook, and then people would be like, they would spread the message, hey, today's National Peanut Butter Day.
But Memorial Day is not Veterans Day. People they put big posts about, thank a veteran today. And, on Memorial Day, they're thanking veterans. And on Veterans Day, they're like, remember the fallen. Remember the Fallen is Memorial Day. Thank a Vet is Veterans Day. Okay?
Yes.
I'm not saying you can't any other time, but my point is this. How many of you are actually going to take time today to remember, honor, consider, think about? And that's one of the things, Jared, that I miss about not being in Ohio. That's one of the things I miss about having left our home. And I don't even know if it's the same anymore. I would hope that it is. But for as long as I lived in the Holmes County region of Ohio, where was the big parade? All right, first of all, there were Memorial Day parades everywhere in pretty much every city. There were actual big, monster, massive parades. And the biggest, most monstrous, most massive one in Holmes County was where?
In Millersburg?
No, Nashville.
No, I didn't.
The Nashville parade was the number one biggest Memorial Day parade. And every small town in Ohio, where I lived, had a cemetery. And I, for years and years and years, I would be part of the honor guard. First of all, I had to do crowd control. I had to do traffic control for the Memorial Day. That was a big weekend for cops because there's parades everywhere and all the local agencies. Because most of the time, when you have a big parade like that, let's say your agency has 5, 6, 7 guys, even 10 guys or whatever. Yeah. And you do a big parade, you need way more than 8 or 9 or 10 guys to do traffic control for all that. So all the sister agencies, cooperate and help each other.
I just want to let you guys know that National Peanut Butter Day is actually on January 24th. So there's that. I didn't know that there actually was a National Peanut Butter Day until I said that. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll search this and see if it actually exists. So on Tuesday, January 24th of 2017 is National Peanut Butter Day.
I think there's a National Everything Day. And thanks to the power of the internet, you can find that. But folks, that was and I always appreciated the Memorial Day parade in Nashville. And like I said, when I was a police officer for all those years, we would go to the Millersburg Cemetery most often early in the morning. There, we would have a chaplain who would give a benediction and a prayer. A local civic leader would do a speech. They would play taps, and then they would have an honor guard of uniformed people to come to attention and salute and stuff like that. And that's what I would do, get in the uniform. And the people there, I don't know how well they got it, but at least when I was growing up, the people got it, and they actually took the time. It was a huge civic event. I mean, people came in from all over, hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of people for that parade. It was a big deal. And the culmination of that was at the cemetery in Nashville, and they had remember the statue of the soldier with a rifle? Do you remember that? The statue in the Nashville Cemetery on the big hill?
Yeah.
And the soldier with the rifle, it actually was erected after World War I because the soldier was clad and dressed like a World War I soldier with a rifle and so forth. And when one of the stupid hazing things when you became a cop in that area is you would get a call that there was a man with a gun in the Nashville Cemetery, and you go there and that was the man with the gun. Yeah, I know it's stupid, but it happened. Memorial Day is when we acknowledge the fallen. It is not Veterans Day. It's not National Firemen's EMTs Police Day. It is Veterans Day is when we acknowledge those who gave the ultimate sacrifice to ensure that we have the nation that we live in. And what I'm going to say to you is, how are you commemorating and honoring these people? How are you honoring those who gave their lives over the last 240 plus years so that you could live in this nation and play Candy Crush on a daily basis on your phone and watch Dancing with the Stars and play fantasy football? How are you honoring them? Or are you even? Or do you even give a rat's fanny? I don't know. Maybe you don't. But I would suggest that the best way to honor them is to ensure that what they fought and died for is preserved for future generations. At least that's my personal opinion. Yeah.
Is that your personal? Do you personally believe?
I personally believe that is true.
Attention, new listeners. We produced a free training video series called 7 Training Tips That Could Save Your Life. We want you to have access to this life-saving information. Get instant access now at studentofthegun.com. Do you watch Student of the Gun TV, read the blog, and follow us on Facebook? If you answered no to any of those questions, you are wrong, but you can easily fix yourself. Go to studentofthegun.com to find everything SOTG.
All right, Monday motivational moment for troops overseas. Listen up, freaks. You know who you are and you know where you are. Discipline yourself. What? Discipline myself? I don't need to discipline myself. I wasn't bad. Maybe you were bad. No, discipline yourself. And we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about discipline, motivation, and so forth during the Wednesday thing. But what I'm going to tell you is this. If you're overseas right now, if you're on deployment, you're going to have a lot of downtime. You know you are. There's going to be a lot of downtime between when things are exciting. And quite frankly, the way the world is today, we have so many machines and gadgets and things to do the work for us that we don't have to do as much physical labor as we do. Even in the military, you don't have to do as much physical labor as you used to. But I want you to discipline yourself and think about why you're there and how you got there and what you hope to accomplish. Because, most people, the civilian world, they think that boot camp movies, that drill instructors yelling at you in boot camp, they think Full Metal Jacket is how it is the entire time you're in the military. Like the whole time you're in there, there's like a drill instructor. You're in for 2.5 years and you're a freaking Lance Corporal or whatever, and there's still a drill instructor yelling at you everywhere you go. They don't realize that that's just the beginning part. And after a while, you don't have the drill instructor there anymore, or whatever service you went through, the little Navy guy who walks around behind you and says stuff to you. Or if you're in the Air Force, you don't have a valet following you anymore. Or maybe you do have a valet following you. I don't know. But the fact is, at some point in time, you're going to be freelance and you're going to be on your own, and you're going to need to discipline yourself. And what you need to ask yourself is, what is important? What are my goals? What do I hope to accomplish? Why am I here? And it's easy to not do it. It's easy to get lazy. It's easy to fall into a routine and just do the minimum. Don't do the minimum. Do what needs to be done. Do more than the minimum. And you know how you make yourself do more than the minimum? Discipline. No one's going to do it but you. Nobody can make you do more than the minimum but you. Do more than the minimum. Discipline yourself. Yes, I have been there. I have done that. I got the T-shirt. All right, it's Monday. And because it's Monday, well, what does that mean? Well, obviously, you should know that it's SWAT Fuel. SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Weekday. And we have an intro song, and we've got free stuff. And it's just a big, fun little mini party that we have here, isn't it, Jared?
It is.
It is.
Professor Paul, this is Matthew from Colorado. Just had a question on whether or not you thought it was safe to use a hot tool such as a soldering iron for designs on polymer pistols and Magpul PMags, etc., for grip and also to kind of make it a little bit more your own. Had some friends doing it and just wanted to get you. Thanks.
All right. Before I answer that, Jared, remind him what he needs to do and how he needs to get his stuff.
Matthew,
it's free 9mm plus P.
If you want your free 9mm plus P from SWAT Fuel, I need you to email Alex, ALEX, at studentofthegun.com and send her your name, your mailing address, your phone number, and include your email address typed in the body of the email. And she will get your info sent over to SWAT Fuel, and you will get your free bottle of 9mm plus P in the near future.
All right. If you want to be the Warrior of the Week, you can do it by calling 682-207-7684. Or if you're a super cool ninja and you have the Student of the Gun mobile app on your phone, why don't you? Is there a reason why you don't? Because you can't afford it? Oh, it's free, thanks to our friends at Century Arms. So just do it. There's a little call us button there. Is it call us or contact us? I think it's call us.
Call us.
Anyway, you tap it, and it says Warrior of the Week line, and you tap that, and then the phone rings, and you leave your message, and if we pick your question, guess what? You're a winner. All right, tabletop gun hacking. Excellent, excellent topic. Number one, yes, a lot of people are doing that. I think there's probably more people doing Glock stippling now than at any other time before. And some of it's really good, and some of it's kind of scary. But here's the deal. I would practice. Well, I don't need to tell you, but if you're going to do that, get a junk frame. Get something that it's okay that you ruin. And the messed up thing about Glocks or pistols is that the frame is the gun. But I would get something to practice on first. Now, as far as Glock pistol frames or M&P pistol frames or whatever polymer pistol frame, and using a soldering gun or a hot tool or whatever to etch them up and rock on, dude. The world is your oyster, and I'm sure there's a million freaking YouTube videos on how to do it, and that's cool. The only cautionary tale I would tell you is with magazines, especially colored polymer magazines. Ken Hackathorn reminded me of this, and I was like, yeah, I knew that, but I kind of forgot several years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, I guess 4 years ago. Ken was talking about PMags, and he said from his experience, which is pretty good experience, the black polymer, no window PMags are the strongest. Structurally, they have the greatest structural integrity of all of them. He said where they start running into problems is when they start making them all different colors. And he said, it seems to me, from my experience, this is Ken talking, that when they do two things, A, put windows in them, and B, make them different colors, that it weakens the structural integrity of them ever so slightly. Because I think, Jared, you were there when Ken said the only PMags that I ever saw break were the colored ones. And it wasn't all the time, but it actually did happen. If you're going to start hacking on a magazine with a hot tool, go with caution, because one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to basically compromise the structural integrity of magazines. And of course, generally, magazines are going to be thinner and they're going to be lighter than a pistol frame. You'd really have to hack and dig and mess pretty hard to get all the way through and ruin the structural integrity of a pistol. But not that it couldn't be done, because people can break anything. But if you're going to hack on magazines and hot tool magazines and so forth, kind of like go with caution. So that's one thing I would recommend against is, and maybe you don't care. You're like, I'd rather it be pretty than structurally, and or you could just Duracoat it. I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can do it and you can do it well, RTFO, rock on, go crazy. That's one thing that I wish that was different about the Gladius swords, the Gladius machetes, which are actually swords from Cold Steel, is I wish that the grips on them were a little bit narrower, and I'd actually like to have somebody who does a good job stippling to put a texture on that. Now we put tape on them, but if they textured them, I think that would be a little bit better. All right, I hope that answers your question, and congratulations to you for being the Warrior of the Week, brought to you by SWAT Fuel. Before we get into it, let's thank our friends at Brownells at brownells.com. If you got a gun, they got something for you. Frog Lube Extreme. You know it's extreme. You know you want some. You can get Frog Lube from brownells.com, or you can get it from froglube.com or wherever Frog Lube products are sold. Duracoat. All right, kids, come on. Let's get into it. Let's do it. The Duracoat thing. Are we doing that today? Tomorrow? January? I don't know when we're doing it. But the Duracoat Student of the Gun contest.
Yes, we should extend it to the middle of June because of the new information that I got from Duracoat. They said
that's right. They're going to give away a cool package. They're going to give away some goodies to whoever we choose.
Yes.
So there's that.
So I'll give you guys a little bit more time to get your gun tattoo and your Duracoat and do your project. So you've got till, let's do June 15th.
Okay. LauerWeaponry.com, or you can get Duracoat products at Brownells. We talked about our friends at SWAT Fuel, and you go to SWATFuelStore.com. We didn't say the promo code. Use it. SOTG 205. No. Try that again.
It's close. It's SOTG 2015.
There you go.
If you're a member, grad program member, there's a page. I just made one on studentofthegunradio.com. You click on the thing on the top that says partner discounts. And we've got a couple partners in there.
That's right. You're doing that.
Yeah, they're giving a bigger discount than the public is getting. So you can go there, log into your account, go to the page, and you will see I think there's 3 on there right now, and there's more coming soon.
So what you're saying, essentially, Jared, is if they're going to buy SWAT Fuel anyway, they should just go ahead and become a grad program member, because the savings that they get pays for their grad program membership.
Yes.
And now the savings that they're going to be getting from other companies, so it's like we're giving you money.
Yep.
Essentially, that's what it's like. Crossbreed Holsters, the makers of the Freedom Carry, the Purse Defender, the Bedside Backup, the Ram Mount, and the Super Tuck Deluxe.
Also known as?
The Bruce Jenner commemorative.
Okay, cool.
That's right. And don't forget about the sweetest smelling arms maker in the U.S. of A., Century Arms. And they make high-capacity thumb drive guns for all of you on social media.
Thumb drive guns.
Put a picture of the TP9 SF thumb drive with a removable magazine, and people just lost their minds. It's crazy. We've got this story could be what would happen if Zach was here. Zach is a pretty mild-mannered guy. He's pretty even-keeled. Zach the shipping ogre, he's an even-keeled guy. He doesn't get too excited about things. But I got to believe that if Zach would have been present when this went down, that he would have been on it. You can do anything you want, but you don't screw with GameStop. And all of you should know, if you have a Walmart near you, you have a GameStop near you. I can pretty much guarantee it, because that's how they work. They either put them next to the Walmart or they put them next to Target. Well, this one comes from the glorious People's Republic of Maryland, or Murderland, and the source is WJLA.com. 7-year-old stands up to 2 armed robbers at a GameStop in Maryland. What the farfignugan is going on? Let's go ahead and dive right into this here. Silver Springs, Maryland. 2 men are wanted for an armed robbery at a GameStop video game store Friday night in Silver Spring, Maryland. In the 10,100 block of Colesville Road. That was important. Thank you for telling me about that. The two suspects knew exactly what they wanted to do and aggressively took over the store, Montgomery County Police Officer Rick Gooddale said. Jared, stop for a second. Don't we know that the People's Republic of Murderland, don't they have real strict gun control?
They do.
Aren't they the ones that just put in the extra bonus hardcore assault weapons ban? And I don't understand how there could be an armed robbery in Maryland when they have all those super cool gee-whiz gun control laws. Don't the criminals know that they're not supposed to use guns to rob people?
Apparently not. They didn't read the law.
Oh, man, I thought gun control stopped violent crime. Oh, no. My chi has just been broken. The cameras catch a glimpse of a father, mother, and their 7-year-old son. He pointed the gun and said, "Get on the floor." Then he pushed us to the floor, the father told us. Why wasn't the father ventilating them and making them into worm food? I don't understand that story, Jared. It says the father was...
I don't know.
It's hurting my brain. I'm thinking, so you're with your family.
Well, I've
so
just gone to GameStop.
You're an adult human male, and you're out in public with your family, and you're just going to comply and hope that the vermin are super nice and don't hurt you? Okay. Well, I think we're going to find out who the man, the M-A-N, we're about to find out who the M-A-N in this story is. Okay. He pointed the gun and said, "Get on the floor," then pushed us to the floor, the father told us. Yet, just 10 feet away, that little 7-year-old boy bravely fought back, firing a flurry of punches. He's a brave little boy. He recognized he was in a dangerous situation, the father continued. There was a stranger, and he was trying to defend himself. Both parents, dude, this is so Farfignuganed up right here. Get this. Both parents were on the floor at gunpoint while their son fought back. The father says he screamed for his son. He broke free from them and came to us. So, the 7-year-old, am I getting this right? There's an adult man, an adult woman, and a 7-year-old child. And the one that was fighting back against the vermin was the 7-year-old.
Where did he learn this, I wonder? Because obviously,
I don't know where he learned that. Both robbers are described by police as, I think, who wrote this story? Is there a name attached to it, or is it just like, no, this is just one of those like, Richard Reeve. Dang, Richard. It was nice. I hope you enjoyed your career at ABC News 7, because you're not going to have a job as of tomorrow, because here's what he said. He said both robbers were black men in their 20s.
He actually gave a description. Black men in their 20s, approximately 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighing 170 pounds. How do they know?
He just racially profiled these people. And he's demonstrating racism right there. And Richard, I hope you enjoyed your job at ABC 7, but you're not going to be employed tomorrow now, because how dare you point out someone's race? What are you trying to say, Richard? So congratulations. I wish I could send this kid a book, but I think they would stop it at the border in Maryland. They don't think they'll let it in there. Dads? Hey, dads, are you listening to me? Yeah. When you go out with your family, do you have the ability, the fortitude, and the hardware necessary to defend your family's lives? Or are you just going to lay subserviently on the ground and hope that the vermin will be nice? Are you going to put yourself, your family, and your children at the mercy of the monsters that are out there in the world? It's up to you. I mean, I'm fixing my chair here in the studio. It's up to you. Do what you want. I don't know what to tell you, but congratulations. And I thought, we don't have a Honey Badger song. We I don't know. Didn't we have one?
I thought we had
some ideas,
a recommendation thing, but
I don't know. But anyway, all right. Let's continue on in more good news out of our nation's capital. Comrade Barry Hussein Soetoro is continuing with his scorched earth policy. Barry Soetoro has decided, and this is not really a surprise, but he's decided, and we see the evidence pretty much every week now, that if he can't be king for life, that he's going to do his absolute best. He's already been, undermining what was the greatest country on the planet of the Earth. The planet of the Earth. Wow. Not the apes. The planet Earth, with a scorched earth policy. Too much earth going on there. We've already discussed at great length how Barry Soetoro and his minions have poisoned the United States military. They poisoned and weakened, and they're in the process of destroying the United States military because it's not fair that we have a strong military. We need to turn them into a bunch of postal clerks in green uniforms, and if you're a postal clerk, don't get mad at me, a bunch of civil servants. Well, what else is Barry doing to institute his scorched earth? I'm just going to go ahead and destroy this country before I leave office. Well, here we go. We've got it from AlanBWest.com. Comrade Barry signs bill banning these words, written by Michelle Jesse, associate editor, on May 24, 2016. It says, while Comrade Barry Hussein Soetoro has unilaterally determined Americans have the right to use whatever bathroom they wish, he just signed a bill that restricts certain use of speech, the use of certain speech. You might have missed this one as it was buried in the Friday news dump. Thank you, Michelle, for acknowledging that. When stuff happens and they need to say they reported on it, but really they know that no one saw it, they do it Friday evening, or they do it Saturday, or when they do it when they know that people aren't paying attention. They're like, oh, yeah, we reported that story. We reported it Saturday morning at 6 o'clock, and we did our job. It's not our fault you didn't see it. You might have missed this one as it was buried in Friday's news dump. Late Friday afternoon, of course, this is Friday last, the time of the week when the public and the press relations are few and far between. No one's paying attention. All right, let's go to it. It says via the MRC. What does MRC stand for? MRCTV.org. The Obama administration signed a law Friday. Now, is it a law? Oh, it's one of these omnibus things where you're like, it's not really the purpose of the law, but we just attach a bunch of stuff to it so that we can sneak it through. It's a funding bill that we attach a bunch of left-wing big government policies to, and that way you have to do it. All right. Comrade Barry signed a law on Friday that would remove allegedly offensive descriptors of minorities, such as referring to individuals as Spanish-speaking, from all federal laws. The bill, H.R. 4238, amends the Department of Energy's Organization Act and the Local Public Works Capital Development and Investment Act of 1976. What in the farfignugan does any of that nonsense that I just said have to do with racially motivated terminology? You see what kind of country we're living in, folks? I know some of you are over there in England and Australia, and you're like, I don't live there. It doesn't bother me. Whew. So we're just going to add a right. How did the Republican Congress and Republican Senate let this crap get in there? Probably because they need the money. It's like, we need this money. We need to spend this money and to have control of this money. So we're going to let this nonsense go through so we can have our money. Because that's how you control the peasantry, is you control the money. You guys understand that, right? The terms that will... we're going to have fun with this, Jared. The terms that will be eliminated include, quote, Negro. Don't tell the people over at the United Negro College Fund that they're using the wrong word. Apparently they're using the wrong word. Apparently the Spanish language, did you know that, Jared? That the Spanish language has to be amended so as not to offend Comrade Barry?
This is ridiculous.
You cannot use the word.
Get to this point?
You cannot use the word, according to Comrade Barry Soetoro, Negro, Puerto Rican, American Indian, Eskimo, Oriental, or Alouette, or is a Spanish-speaking individual. You can't use the following term. You can't use the term a Spanish-speaking individual of Spanish descent.
Yeah.
What? Instead, the thought police have decided that you will use the following terminologies. The government will now use a more politically correct terminology, quote, Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, African American. So, Jared, next February, which organization is it that determined that February was a special month? It's a special month. It's a special history month. What month is February, Jared?
It's Black History Month.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's gonna have
now
to be.
It has to include all African.
It's going to have to be African American History Month. Jared, do you know that Egypt is in the continent of Africa? Mm-hmm. Did you know that Tunisia and Libya? Did you know Libya? So if somebody's from Libya, are they an African American?
Yep,
they are.
They are.
Morocco? People from Morocco are African Americans? How about super Caucasian looking folks like Robbie Barkman from South Africa? Now, if you have a light colored skin and you were born in South Africa and you currently reside in the United States of America, are you an African American? Things that make you go, Oh, what words? Now, this is the insane, upside-down, lunatic world that we're living in, Jared. So in the list of politically approved terminology, we have African American, Hispanic, Puerto Rican.
Wait.
Whoa!
I thought Puerto Rican was eliminated.
Yeah, Native American, Alaska Native. Perhaps further clarification is needed on how Puerto Rican has both been eliminated and added to the maybe it's the pronunciation, Jared. Maybe if you have to say Puerto Rican. Maybe when you say Puerto Rican, you have to say Puerto Rican. What do you think?
This is man. Why are we?
Although
why
the bill eliminates many offensive words from the federal government, the major focus of the bill. Okay, this is a spending bill. This is money. This is all about them taking your money from you and spending it on the stuff that they want to spend it on. But check this out. According to the story, this is breaking news. Breaking news. The major focus of the bill was to remove the word Oriental. This is am I an insane person here? Am I operating on a different plane or level? The Department of Energy's Organization Act and Local Public Works Capital Development Investment Act of 1976. That's the name of the bill. And according to the news story, the major focus was to remove the word Oriental from the language. Oh, to be fair, Comrade Barry didn't do this on his own. Well, duh, he has minions. The bill actually originated in Congress by Representative Grace Meng, Democrat, New York, who reportedly sailed, and it reportedly sailed through passage in Congress with bipartisan support. So you can, whoa! You mean all the conservative Republicans that told us we're all crazy for wanting to? Anybody who endorses Donald Trump is a crazy lunatic fringe person because what? Republican Party establishment. Because we're supposed to lend our faith and support to you exclusively because you're going to do the right thing and you're going to. Jared, last time I checked, in 2016, didn't we have Republican control of both the House and Senate? Didn't we have majorities in both the House and Senate? Mm-hmm. So how does this nonsense get through? I'll tell you how it gets through. This crap gets through because the people in Washington, D.C., with capital R's behind their names, are not doing their freaking jobs. That's how this crap gets through. You Republican Party establishment puke faces who've been telling the American people, the good American people, for decades, oh, come on, you got to support us. It's us or nobody. And that's how they've been getting away with this crap forever. It's who are you going to vote for? A libertarian? Who are you going to vote for? A Democrat? It's us or nobody. If you're a conservative American, if you actually give one rat's rear end about this nation, the party establishment's like, if you vote for Trump, you're a crazy lunatic fringe person, and you're going to... It's like, no. And that is the disconnect right there in this bill. This is probably, in your world, you're like, I don't care, Paul. This isn't that big of a deal. No. This is a beautiful example of how the people that are supposed to be representing their constituency. Remember that whole that lunatic idea of a representative republic? Remember that, Jared? That whole, we had this great big constitutional convention, and we're going to have a representative republic, and that the people will be represented directly by their chosen officials. Remember that? Yeah, I know. That's crazy old white slave owner talk. That's old white slave owner talk, Paul. We don't do that anymore. So we have a Republican majority in the Senate, a Republican majority in the Congress, and we allow a Democrat left-wing nut job to add a bunch of social justice gobbledygook, a bunch of politically correct gobbledygook nonsense into a spending bill. And we don't stop it. And they wonder, why are all these Americans, I don't understand the popularity of this Donald Trump guy. Don't they know how dangerous Donald Trump is to America? I mean, Donald Trump he's the Antichrist, and we can't... No. You artards... Let me see, Jared. Let me see what I can do here. All of you Puerto Rican, Negro, American Indian, Eskimo, Oriental, Alouette, Spanish-speaking, and Spanish descent artards in Washington, D.C., who fail to stop this nonsense, you are the reason that Donald Trump is the nominee. Not because the American people are stupid or naive or foolish. The American people are sick of your crap. They're sick of you being a linguini-spined coward. Fix yourself. We're getting ready to fix this country. Brothers and sisters, the country's going to be fixed. It may not be pretty. It may be really ugly.
And I'm not pretty when I'm ugly.
And I'm not pretty when I'm ugly. Woo! All right, freaks and freakettes. That's it. That's it for today. If you really care, if you really want to honor the people who surrendered their lives, who gave their lives to preserve this nation, you might want to do your civic duty and respect the founding. Or not. I don't care. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Remember, you're a beginner once, but you should indeed be a student for life.